Well, good Saturday, everyone, and welcome to the third virtual Walk MS broadcast. My name is Rob Malterer with the National MS Society and Walk MS. So glad you all could join us. And along with me today, we have three tremendous guests that we're going to hear from shortly with some tremendous stories that we think you all are really going to love. But first, yes, virtual Walk MS is the plan for this year, as all Walk MS events through June have moved to a virtual experience, allowing us to connect, celebrate, and inspire each other in unique and mostly online ways. Virtual means we just can't gather together like we planned, but we can still commemorate the event any way we want. It's my walk, my way, all the time through June. And if you haven't noticed yet, to help kickstart your virtual walk, yesterday on Facebook, we posted this. You can see my screen. We know that walkers love route maps. So we have a long and a short route, complete with rest stops that you can do in your house. So if you haven't yet, please check out our fun route map. I know we all were pleased yesterday, ladies, when we saw that, weren't we? Just how fun we can have this virtual thing that we're doing. Also encourage everyone that's watching right now is to start a Facebook watch party. Pretty easy to do. Your bottom of your screen will just say watch party. Click those words and then invite your network, your friends to join you watching today's stream, as well as the rest of the streams throughout the virtual season. We want everybody that's on today to comment. We really, really want to hear from you. So today's call out is share your why. Why do you walk? Why do you walk virtual Walk MS? Who is important to you and why are you doing this? We want to make sure we stay connected throughout this process. So it's really, really cool if you could say your why today. And I also like to say a special hello to all the Walk MS participants that are watching today, trying to understand what this virtual Walk MS experience is. And a special shout out to the 33 events in 15 states that were planned for this weekend. Those are all happening today, April 4th, of course, virtually. Important to know that while our Walk MS experience may look different, our mission remains 100% the same. So if you or someone you know is looking for resources related to COVID-19 and MS, please visit the National MS website. We'll have to share the link in the comments section, but our website has a great amount of resources that we can help you out with. So that's enough about me, and as well as our upfront information, I'd love to introduce our guests. So first up on the screen is Bridget Merriman. Bridget was diagnosed the fall of 2019 after years of symptoms. Her personal world changed more than just a little bit in the last 6 months. Bridget is an attorney in Washington State and lives with her husband and her fabulously goofy son in Seattle. Backed by her close-knit network of friends and families, Bridget has raised nearly $7,000, but I've heard it might be over $7,000 with some last-minute donations just today when she said she was going live, because she is backed by a super, super great network in Seattle as well as in Washington, which of course has faced COVID-19 and has been hit harder than many other states. Bridget had planned for Walk MS, which was tomorrow in Seattle, to be her coming out party for her diagnosis and to show the outpouring of love and support since she shared her news. Bridget, we are so excited to have you here today. Thank you for joining us. And first question is, being newly diagnosed, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Especially that your personal world and the entire world has changed so much in the last 6 months.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Hi, everyone from Seattle. I'm actually doing pretty well. For me, the diagnosis was, as I'm sure it is for a lot of people, a bit of a relief. I think it was almost 3 years of dealing with mystery symptoms before I had an answer. And so while it's not really good news that it's not going away, it was nice to finally have an answer and to be able to sort of calm those thoughts of like, what's going on? Is there something I need to deal with urgently? And I had sort of hesitated about whether to share my diagnosis. I think I came out with it earlier than a lot of people. But at the time that I announced it in January, I had no way of knowing that COVID was going to hit. And I am now really happy that I announced it, not only because it helps me raise awareness, but it means it's like one less thing I need to deal with by myself, because I have this whole network of people who know what I'm going through. So thanks for asking.
Of course. And we are all in this together. And Walk MS is all about the spirit of community and togetherness. So it stinks we meet under these circumstances, but Bridget, we're really, really glad to have you on this team. So thank you for joining. I'm going to come back, but we have to introduce the bottom two boxes here. And with us, joining us from the Sunshine State, is Adrian Thiessen-Landreth and Juliana Thiessen-Finberg. I have to say that because here in the Midwest, I don't see a lot of sun, so I am very jealous of the two of you. Adrian and Juliana are cousins and Walk MS team captains and strong MS warriors. Adrian was diagnosed with MS when she was just 15 years old. Already knowing that her Aunt Judy and another family member were living with MS, Adrian decided to do something about her diagnosis and started the team Carpe Diem. Ladies, let's see them. Show those shirts. There they are. A few years later, at age 22, Juliana was diagnosed, bringing their family even closer together. Both women are full of determination, light, and passion. Supporting each other year after year, they've carried their Walk MS teams through multiple cities over the last 19 years and going to be 20 next year. I hope to be invited to the 20th anniversary celebration, especially if it's really cold here. But with Walk MS going virtual, they knew they could not stop. So they joined forces, brought Carpe Diem together to embrace #virtual Walk MS across California one day just last week to support their family and all those living with MS in the world right now. Adrian and Juliana, it is such an honor to have you today. Thank you for joining us. And how are you two doing right now? Juliana, let's start with you.
Yeah, thank you for having us. We're doing good. Just hanging in there. We're really excited to be a part of this and happy that we were still able to do the virtual walk, even though we couldn't actually walk. So it's really fun.
Excellent. Adrian, how about you? Are you doing okay?
I'm doing wonderful, actually. I'm doing pretty good. Yeah.
Excellent. And you all have noticed that Adrian wins the prize for the best background of the day, which we are going to cover shortly. But Julianne, I want to start with you. Is you and the team and your legion of supporters and families, you hosted a virtual Walk MS event last week, I believe. Love to know, how did you celebrate Walk MS, even though it looks so different this year?
Yeah. So Adrian had sent me a text last Friday, and it was just basically letting me know that she was still going to be doing a virtual walk and just promoting it, and just basically put on any of your old shirts and walk whenever you can. And I was like, this is a great idea. I'm going to jump on board with it. And so I sent a text to my friends and family as well. And then I also posted an Instagram story that Adrian was able to share also. And then there was some confusion about what the virtual meant, but people totally jumped on board. And then the next day, Adrian and I both got up, we did our walk and posted our pictures. And then throughout the day, I personally had about like 30 people post their family pictures and their selfies with either an old walk shirt that we've had throughout the years or just any shirt. And it was really awesome to see the support, and that we were still able to support the MS Society. So it was awesome.
And we greatly, greatly appreciate that support, more than any. And you guys are trailblazers. So Adrian, was it tough to make that decision? You know, how do we navigate that? We don't get to see our friends and families the day of. Like, what was your thoughts behind starting this virtual thing here?
I can't take credit for it. The MS Society did it. I had virtual coffee with the other MS team captains, and they're like, yeah, we're doing a #virtual walk MS. I was like, this is the best idea ever. So I had a box full of shirts, and I'm like, my teammates don't have their shirts. And so I actually delivered Juliana her shirt last month. And so I got kind of sad. I was like, my best friend's not going to have her shirt in Bakersfield, which is about 2 hours from here. And my husband was like, I'm not doing anything. So he drove her shirts to her and just put them on a doorstep and drove back. So I was like, this is amazing. So it was just, I can't believe how many people just put on old shirts, and it was incredible. Thank you, Team Carpe Diem.
And all in support of you two and your family. Like, how cool is that, huh? I mean, that's what this is about, especially in this day and age where uncertainty is a thing. It's cool to know that you can certainly count on your family and friends. So we're going to come back to you. So we want to definitely talk about more, because you said people have been confused. Well, what is this virtual walk MS? How do I do it? But Bridget, want us to go back up to you, and being somebody who's duly diagnosed, why is it important that you still participate virtually in Walk MS?
So I guess it goes back to why I came out about my diagnosis in the first place. I mean, I thought I would take something that was bad and turn it into something good by, raising awareness and raising money. The walk itself would have been a great opportunity to join with the community and meet other people. But as it turns out, the MS Society has given us an opportunity to do that even when we are not able to join for the big walk. So, it's raising awareness, it's raising money, but not everyone can give right now. So just talking about how MS, it gives a platform to talk about how MS affects people's lives, to break down some of the stigma about MS, and also to connect with tons of people. Hi to everybody out there I've never met, but who cares about MS. I mean, what a great opportunity to do it. So I was pretty excited about the option and really happy that the society was coming up with something creative to solve this problem that no one planned for.
Exactly. It was unplanned. And a month ago, we didn't plan to do this. I did not expect to be in these boxes with you three today, but here we are. And Bridget, expand on that a little bit. Did you find people you said you found people that you didn't know, but people come out of the woodwork, maybe high school friends or old colleagues? Talk about that just, real quick. Who has been out there to support you?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I might have a social media problem. Like I engage in social media maybe too much, especially now that I'm stuck in my house a lot. But it's been amazing. I mean, friends of mine from elementary school across the country in Maryland have reached out and donated. I think the other thing that's really meaningful to me is people talking about, you are the third, fourth, fifth person I know with MS. But those folks don't feel comfortable talking about it. I think the more we talk about it, the more people feel comfortable. It's been really, really amazing to see how much support is out there, and how much I feel like my friends and family have my back, but also care about this new cause that I care about.
And you're right. I mean, this is our platform right now. And Bridget, it's great to hear you using social media. Use all your tools and assets. And a lot of us are doing virtual happy hours and virtual lunches and virtual game nights. I think people are finding cool and fun and innovative ways to connect. And Juliana, I want to go back to you. I had heard that you had a conflict for this year's walk, that you weren't even planning to be there the day of. So you probably were pretty pleased when this came down that we could do it virtually, huh?
Yeah, so I was supposed to be out of town for both the San Luis Obispo, Santa Barbara, and Thousand Oaks walk. So it worked out perfectly. I was still able to participate. So I was really excited about that. And typically the Santa Barbara walk falls on the same weekend as the music festival around here that most of my family goes to. So it was fun to have a lot of people that normally can't make it still participate.
Exactly. Conflicts are inevitable in this day and age. And now I think those conflicts have gone down a little bit, especially that you can walk your way any way you want. And Adrian, talk a little bit about the response from friends and family. I know I saw a bunch of cool pictures, but did you expect it? Was that like, oh,
no.
You got me?
No, I honestly, when Juliana posted, I was like, okay. And then after I finished walking with my mom and my husband, I see my friends wearing their shirts, walking with their baby just across the street. And it was just incredible. Like random people, just everybody was walking at the time that was, convenient for them. And I think you've seen the picture. My family even put a shirt on a donkey and started walking. So it's just pretty incredible. And family like Juliana, and I have family throughout California, and they were able to walk, and they haven't been able to do the MS walk in years just because of convenience. So yeah, it was pretty awesome.
And look at that. People, you hit it on the head, that haven't been able to do this for years. They had conflicts. Maybe it was not convenient. Maybe they were having a hard time walking or getting to a walk site. now they have every chance. And you stole my thunder there, Adrian. So I'm going to go back to you with that. But
I'm sorry.
no, you're great. It's your story. So I want to just embellish it because you said a key word we don't say a lot in Walk a Mess, and that's donkey. And we already know that dogs love Walk a Mess. We see a lot of dogs at events when they're able, when the venue in the city lets us. I've actually seen a chicken before at a walk. It was sitting in a stroller. Never thought I'd see a chicken. And you got a donkey? Like, what is that? Give us a little background there.
Well, my uncle, who's always in the top 400 fundraising club, he has a donkey, and he put on one of his old ripped MS walk shirts from 2009 and just put it on him and walked. It was pretty awesome. And hilarious, of course.
You never expect to see a donkey, let alone in a shirt,
No.
let alone in a Walk MS shirt, let alone on your team. So I hope that's the mascot now going forward. I think you've got a natural one.
Maybe.
We'll get back. We'll talk. And I know we're going to try to share that picture on our Facebook page. And thank you for providing it because it's just too funny not to. Bridget, Adrian, talked a little about her uncle in the top 400 for fundraising, and you alluded to it as well as, yes, this is a difficult, interesting, maybe odd time even to fundraise, but we know fundraising is still critical to fund that cure that one day we're going to find. So you've had a lot of success with Facebook. I think I saw it on your page, and hopefully after this, well over $7,000. But could you just share a little bit what you've been doing and maybe a few tips for everybody out there that's maybe leery or is not too comfortable with Facebook and fundraising?
Sure. I was unsure about whether I wanted to do a Facebook fundraiser too, but I'm really glad that I did. It's easy when you, if you're registered for the MS Walk, or if you're not registered, you could go online now and register for a virtual walk and set up a Facebook fundraiser. And you could choose whether you want to use the stock language that comes with the Facebook fundraiser or add your own story. I think that what makes fundraising really successful is sharing your own story. And that requires a little bit of vulnerability, which makes some people feel uncomfortable. I say embrace the uncomfortability because you'll get good results, not just fundraising, but you'll get support. You'll find out that people really care about you and what you're going through. For me, like coming out and explaining that one of my symptoms is using the wrong word now makes me feel more comfortable when I'm in court. If I misspeak, that people aren't going to think I was day drinking or something like that. They're like, maybe that's an MS symptom that she was talking about. So, there are a lot of benefits to being vulnerable and open. And it's also not just sharing the negatives, but the positives too. Like for me, the stress and the lack of physical activity with the COVID closure has sort of taken a toll on my body. But on the other hand, I have so much more time to sleep, rest, and spend time with my family. And so I've been trying to celebrate those positives too. So I encourage people to do a Facebook fundraiser. Even if you're only raising a few dollars, you are building a tremendous amount of awareness for people.
Awesome. Well, thank you for doing it. Thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for opening up yourself. We know it's a challenge, especially you said yesterday, you've been sitting at home for quite a bit of time. So actually probably gave you something to do too, which is pretty neat.
It did. And just as an example of my Facebook support, you asked me to wear orange, and I realized I didn't have any orange, and it was too late to order anything online. So I put out an all call, and thanks to my friend Cindy for loaning me her porch pickup orange shirt so that I could be celebrating. Anyway, it's just kind of a great atmosphere.
Love it. And practicing social distancing as well, picking up at the porch. Thank you for including that and following orders. Juliana, similar question. What advice do you have for others that want to engage in a virtual Walk MS? Any tips or any tricks that you can share? Because you are now the experts, by the way. We have dubbed you the experts, so congratulations.
If I could go back, I would have planned ahead a little better. Honestly, we kind of winged it. We basically told our friends and family about 24 hours ahead of time. So if I could go back, I would have, started promoting it ahead of time a little bit, maybe a couple more days, done a Facebook event, promoted it on Facebook as well. Yeah, and then another thing I would have done was included a link to donate. So maybe put that, in our Instagram posts that, yes, we are raising awareness, but we're also trying to raise money. And yeah, I would say just promoting it earlier, and then also kind of explaining more what the virtual means, that it's not this complicated thing, that you can just literally go out, walk whenever you want, take a picture. Yeah. And then if, people don't have shirts, they can be creative and make their own shirts. Yeah. Just have fun with it, really.
That's the key, right? Have fun, bring other people in the mix, and Adrian, your check is in the mail. The way you promoted the society helped you come up with the idea. So thank you. It was completely unprompted, but that's another good call. It is use your network here on the Walk MS team. If you know other walkers or team captains, Juliana, Adrian, Bridget, you guys might get tapped by someone that's listening on this stream right now that wants some advice. So hopefully you're open to that, but we're all in this together. So we have to do it. So Juliana, thank you just for saying, I could have used a little time, but you did the best you could, didn't you? Like it was still pretty neat to see.
Yeah, we have a really great support system. So they're always happy to help however they can.
Love it. That helps. All right, Adrian, you took the donkey question. Now I got to ask you about your backdrop. It's not donkey related, but I think, is it a quilt? What's going on there?
It is a quilt that my mother made me. She surprised me with it. It's a quilt of all of the MS Walk shirts that we've collected from 2002 to 2000, I think 16 is when she made it. So we have to start making a new one with all our new shirts. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's probably my most prized possession, I think.
I was going to say.
All the memories that are, it's pretty cool. But thank you, Mom.
I was going to say, thank you, Mom. Handmade by the woman that brought you into this earth. Like, what could be better than that? Great segue there. I want to talk just real quickly about T-shirts. So if you gals are fundraising, we know Bridget is you're going to still get your T-shirts, as well as you're going to get your Living with MS T-shirts that you were promised when we started off, back when we thought we'd see you live and in person. But we've gotten a lot of questions about T-shirts. They are coming. In all honesty, we have not figured out the best way to get those to you, but anybody that's raised $100 or more will receive a T-shirt along with the Living with MS shirt. So those will be on the way. Talk with your local Walk MS team or staff, and they'll help you out. But just like the gals from Carpe Diem, if you've got your team shirts, post a picture of you wearing those on the Walk MS Facebook page. Please use our hashtag as well, so we can promote you a little bit and other people can pick that off. So just like Bridget and Juliana and Adrian, there are some things everybody that's watching today can do. First and foremost, you can register. You could build your team to show support of Virtual Walk MS. I myself have a team of staff. We had 2 people this time last year. Now we have 7. We have tripled in more than just a week, because we know that we need to do something to help combat what is going on in the world. And MS is still going to be around, last time we checked, once we get through the other end of this virus. We're hoping for not too long, but forming a team, raising awareness is huge, along with fundraising if you are able. So we want to make that paramount. Is fundraising efforts are so critical for programs and services like our MS Navigator program, and to support 3 fantastic ladies that are in these boxes with me. You've got Facebook, as Bridget already said. Bridget also talked about Amazon. She couldn't get an order in time. If you haven't yet, make sure you link your Amazon account to Amazon Smile, which can support the society. I'm going to call you 3 out. Have you 3 done that yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. You get A's. You're even higher on my list. The society is one of the largest benefactors of that program. So thank you for taking part and joining that. And then lastly there's a Charity Miles app where you can log your steps to help earn a donation for the society. So every now and again, Bridget, we can put our headsets off and take a walk, right? So
my body might appreciate that too.
So let's use that Charity Miles app when we can. And lastly, Your Walk, Your Way. That could be on a home treadmill. It could be walking a dog. put on your orange, put it on that donkey, that chicken, that kid across the street. How about sidewalk chalk art? There are just so many different ways. Virtual happy hour, Cards Against Humanity with friends, anything you think of. Use the hashtag #VirtualWalkMS on social media. Share photos, pictures when that you can, and what we can still do to help promote that we need this vital work, fundraising, and research to end MS one day. We've asked people to share your reasons why, so we want people to continue in the comment box to do those, and then you'll see it on the recording as well. Also want to give a great shout out to our Walk MS sponsors. They have been incredibly grateful to still support us. There's so many, I can't even mention, local sponsors that have just been fantastic, as well as our 2020 premier and national sponsors. You've seen their names on the screen through this broadcast. A lot of you probably know them because you work with them for maybe your therapies or medications. We couldn't do this without you, sponsors, so thank you. Before we sign off, I want to go through any final thoughts. So, Adrian, you are always last. I want to start with you. Any final thoughts for, I know, I'm putting you on the spot. Any final thoughts or tips or tricks or just anything you want to say to the group that's watching today?
We started out in 2002 with 19 of us, and that was just family. And I think Juliana and our team has grown to over 100 sometimes. So just, you'd be surprised. I honestly, my recommendation would be get shirts made, because my family, everyone has the shirt on. There's at least one person a day that I know that is wearing a shirt that we have made. And when you go to the grocery store, people stop you and like, what's your shirt mean? And you're like, oh, and then you start talking, they know someone with MS, and then they end up doing the walk with you next year. So I think that would be it.
Awesome. A walking billboard.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Juliana, what about you? Final tips, tricks, any thoughts you want to give to the crowd?
I would just say, just have fun with it and don't be shy. Your friends want to support you, so just put it out there and you'll be surprised by the response you get.
Awesome. So cool. And Bridget, anything outside of day drinking you want to
I don't do that. That was a joke. So I read an article about a guy in London who had signed up for a half marathon, who ran it on his balcony because he was so committed to making it happen. And I was like, if he can do that, I can do a 3K walk in my house or maybe outside if the weather cooperates. I think, yep. I think that the biggest thing is just get started. Take a walk, use the hashtag #VirtualWalkMS, and people are going to follow you. And people are going to appreciate the work that you're doing. And it's worth the time and effort to get outside and do a little walk.
I love it. And we all know if we ask our community, our network, our friends or families, they will support us. Most of the time, we just need to ask. I think that's what you all have said, is just put it out there. Talk to me about my shirt. Talk to me about what I'm doing. So can't thank all three of you enough for being here. It is fantastic to hear your stories, and so glad that we are all in this fight together. So truly, from Walk MS, from the National MS Society, thank you for doing what you're doing, and then for sharing your stories as well. It means so, so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
And some closing thoughts. Our next broadcast is going to be Saturday, April 18th. That's 2 weeks from today. So I know all three of you will put that in your calendar. We're going to have everybody take a little break for Easter, but we'll be back in 2 weeks. And lastly, to everybody on the stream, all of our Facebook followers and friends, thank you to all of you for doing what you're doing. Please keep supporting Virtual Walk MS and each other, and have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.